Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine HyVee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Hello, friends. Welcome back. It's Hy-Vee Today for the 1st of July. Can you believe it? It's here. I feel like it was just June yesterday, and here comes July. Was not prepared for how much it was raining because when I left my house, it was a very light rain, and then when I got to work, it was a heavier rain, and I didn't have an umbrella. So maybe have an umbrella in your car for the next couple of days seems like a good idea. Yesterday, we hit the road to Durant to surprise a high school senior, Brendan Paper. Congratulations. One of the Hy-Vee salute to the seniors. He was at work at his family's business in Durant, Paper's Lumber. It was super cool. He had no idea. There's Hy-Vee store director Matt Schweitzer and Brendan. We took care of him with a bunch of balloons, basket full of goodies. The candy bouquets are awesome, by the way. One of the 12-inch decorated cookies, and then a mini fridge because he's going to school in the fall, going to the University of Iowa, and everybody needs a mini fridge, right? So from Durant, then we came back to Muscatine, and we surprised a senior, Amari Jones, who is a graduate from Muscatine High School. Amari also works at Hy-Vee Main Street downtown, so Janelle is pictured there alongside Amari and Matt, and she, again, had no idea. Oh, no, her eyes are closed in that picture. Well, Amari was super excited, and it was a lot of fun to do that yesterday, to get out and surprise him, and yeah, it was just, it's a good thing. I'm glad that our company did that across all the different stores that we have, recognizing our seniors. It was a lot of fun. Is there a purple toilet outside of your house? Probably not. Is there a purple toilet outside of my house right now? There is, most certainly, a purple toilet right there in my front yard. Not something you see typically, although if you watch this show, you know that I've replaced 2 toilets in my house. One because that 5-year-old that's pictured there, Ted, got something stuck, a Yoo-hoo box stuck in a toilet, so I had to replace one. That is the friends at Sunnybrook. So oddly enough, I'm backing out of my driveway yesterday around 5:45, and there's a car pulling up, and I was like, who is that? I didn't know. And it was Megan Johnson. And it was our friend Jordan Lloyd, and it was Dick Vetter and a couple of the fellas from Sunnybrook coming to put a purple toilet. So here's how this works. Captain Quinn Reese with the Muscatine County Sheriff's Office and my neighbor, okay, he was the first one to be able to send the toilet somewhere, and I knew he was going to do it. I didn't think it was really going to happen. So now I'm going to let the toilet hang out for a day or two, and then for a $10 donation, they'll come and take it. For $20, they'll take it to somewhere that I choose, but for $30, they'll take it somewhere that I want it to go, and then it won't come back to my house. So I'm just going to double down and go $60 and have it sent to, I kind of want to send it to Hy-Vee store director Matt Schweitzer's house, but I feel like that's a good idea, right? But there it is. Did a little Facebook Live video. And again, all the money supports the Walk to End Alzheimer's. I should mention that. That's why it's purple. Purple is the color for Alzheimer's awareness, and it's a really great way to promote what they're doing. Ted loves Facebook Live now. He can't get enough of the microphone, but then he has nothing to say after a while. So he'll like talk, and then he's just like, and then there's Lucy. So if you want that purple toilet in your yard, let me know. I'm happy to send it to you because it is a good cause. And yeah, but that's so as if my neighbors weren't a little skeptical already. Now this guy's got a purple toilet in his yard? What's happening? Well, it's for a good cause. Really quick, Wellness Wednesday's here. So 10% off Health Market, 10% off organic produce, 10% off health and beauty care items. If you're watching and you find yourself needing anything from those categories, you can come into the store and save 10% if you're watching. It's a great opportunity to stock up on things. Get out of here. There's a little fly in here today. If only we had a lighter to light a firework. We'd get these flies out of here. I'm kidding. We're not lighting a firework inside. But there's Wellness Wednesday on the screen. Check that out and come in and see us. All right, let's get to our first guest who's patiently waiting. We'll get to the rest of the things on my list. For the first time on this show, we have Assistant Chief Mike Hartman with the Muscatine Fire Department. And we are just, folks, if you're playing along at home by the rules, we're 2 days away from when you're legally able to discharge fireworks in Muscatine. And Mike, I'm glad that you're here. I feel like it's important for people at home to understand that, we have these codes, these ordinances in place for a reason.
Absolutely.
And if they have been lighting them off ahead of time, it doesn't. And the thing is, when you buy fireworks, you get this flyer that tells you, hey, Friday from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., go ahead. And on the 4th, same thing. And then maybe December 31st and January 1st, but that's it, right?
That's right.
Yeah, it's not right now on July 1st at 8:39 in the morning. It's not okay.
Exactly.
So what are we on now for years that fireworks have been legal in town? Is it like...
Well, actually, this is the 4th year.
That's what I thought.
So
okay.
2017 is when the state passed the law in May that they could start selling in June. So it was kind of a challenging time for everybody throughout the state to kind of ramp everything up. And in 2018, 2019, and this year, so year number 4.
It's wild to see all the different tents set up. Of course, we have one outside that helps out MCSA. You said something interesting before we started, that it wasn't really in the first year when, because in a perfect world, for folks like yourself, fire department, police department, you'd prefer a quiet holiday.
Yes, quiet and safe.
Quiet and safe, right. So for the first year in town, it was pretty safe, right?
All in all, those of us who were around remember haze and a lot of other challenges with that. The actual times and dates you could be setting off fireworks was pretty extended that first year. They kind of narrowed it down after a while. But yeah, all in all, there were a few injuries here or there, but based on the situation, it really wasn't that bad. It seems like things are getting worse.
Sure. Yeah, and that's where I was wondering, like, we certainly had some reports last year, and it's unfortunate when something happens because it's no one's intent when they're enjoying a firework to have an accident happen. The thing that I had done, and I guess I've done for all the 4 years now, is if I'm going to light anything off, typically in a backyard with enough space, but then I just had a plastic baby pool full of water, so that as soon as something went off or didn't, because inevitably you'll have that dud, right, that doesn't go off.
Right.
You gotta soak it, right? I mean, is that the best practice, do you think?
Actually, it is.
Yeah?
It is. That is exactly what you need to do.
Sure.
You need to have a bucket of water or something around, not only for the duds or potential duds, but also for what's left over. One of the biggest things as far as injuries actually is sparklers, children with sparklers, because those things burn up to like 2,000 degrees. And once the sparkle is out, it looks like it's out, but it's hot for quite a while. So especially if you're doing sparklers, make sure you have a little bucket of water, like you said, and just dunk it in there.
Especially those metallic ones.
Yes.
Right? It just sort of looks, and I remember back in the day, I think sparklers have come a long way. These aren't the sparklers from the 80s and 90s that I grew up with, but we've had a couple instances where, it gets towards the end and then they start to come back towards the hand and your kids, they're inclined to drop it. But that's not the best either, right? Depending on where they're going to drop it.
Exactly.
So with respects to, and I don't know if you have any stats locally, and my intent is to not scare people. It's just to educate and inform.
Right.
Follow the rules, have fun. I'm pro fireworks, but I'm also even more pro being responsible.
Right.
Right? Like if you're going to purchase them, you got to know what you're doing, and we want you to be safe. But what about like property damage? Has that increased over the last 4 years? Any like structural fires or what?
We don't have any houses that have burned down.
Good.
Because of fireworks yet. The first year we had a lot of little things kind of here or there, more like leftover bottle rockets on houses, those kind of things. We did have a sky lantern. So those are those fancy little things that you light up and they float up and they look so pretty. But by code, they're required to be tethered so that you can pull them back. If they're not tethered, then they end up landing on someone's roof and catching a roof on fire. And we've had that. But all in all, it's been more of the smaller fires. A couple years ago, we did have a pickup truck that was totally destroyed. It's kind of interesting when we do our investigation, we start digging into things and bam, right there it is. There's the firework. Wow. So yeah, those things happen. But all in all, I think they've been more of the smaller scale with the property damage. Again, so far, grass fires and siding on fires on house and that kind of stuff, but nothing's burnt down yet.
Well, and I wonder with, again, just 4 years of being able to legally, now certainly before 4 years ago, people would maybe go to a Missouri or go elsewhere to get fireworks, to detonate them, which again was not, and I feel like the misunderstanding can be like, even if you're lighting off a firework today, like the police don't want to show up. They don't want to have to write you a ticket. But that's their job, right? So the same thing for the fire department. And my question is, with the dates of this Friday, the 3rd, and Saturday, the 4th, when people can light them off, are you guys like double staffed, or what does that look like?
Yeah, typically the police department does increase their staffing.
Sure.
Because a lot of those calls, quite honestly, are handled by the police department instead of the fire department. But yeah, they go out and they do everything they can. Even now with people shooting off fireworks, I know a lot of people are frustrated because they hear things here and there and are, why don't they take care of it? There's a lot of challenges for the law enforcement side as far as being able to find someone who's shooting it off, and also to have the evidence and the witnesses to actually write them a citation. Because if somebody gets a criminal citation, they take it to court, somebody's got to say, yeah, I saw it. Right. So that's one of their challenges and one of their frustrations. But yeah, the police officers are out there and they're doing what they can, but it's kind of a big challenge for everyone.
Well, and again, I think for everybody that works in law enforcement, for the fire department, EMTs, like it's a job, and at the end of the shift, you just want to go home.
Yes.
Especially if you're working on a holiday weekend, you'd rather have it be, 8 or 10 or 12-hour shift and not have to be prolonged by people making mistakes. Does the rain that we're getting today help with respects to, now granted it'll be hot and humid, but I just wonder, because I get nervous too. I mean, I'm not lighting off anything major, but certainly you have that moment where you light a firework and you're like, am I gonna start a brush fire? Like that's the last thing you want to have happen, or even just your grass, But do you think like the rain will help us?
I think the rain helps with that.
Yeah.
Again, last year we had more of the grass fires than the years before, and I think part of that is because of the moisture content of the vegetation. So yeah, the rain today kind of helps with that. But beyond setting things on fire, I don't know if the rain really does that much. Might dampen spirits for a little bit.
Right.
But a lot of people, they go out and they spend a lot of money on fireworks. So if they don't shoot them off right now, they'll wait until the rain stops.
Yeah.
Shoot them off.
So what about, and again, I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer, but it does seem like there can be accidents and even some fatalities, and I think we had one
in Muscatine County we had a fatality last year. Right. Nationwide there were 12 fatalities.
Is that
last year? Yep.
Wow. Were those on the 4th, or was that just during the time?
It's during the calendar year, but I believe it's about 73% of the injuries are within that month before the 4th.
Well, and the other thing to keep in mind, what's so interesting this year, Mike, is that we have the pandemic and a lot of 4th of July festivities canceled. So people are buying more fireworks. But then, and my thing is, like, if you're watching, again, don't take this as Tony's anti-fireworks, but I don't want to overload our health system that might be helping people that are dealing with COVID-19, by the way, right? So if you can be smart and keep yourself safe, that will, lighten the load for the folks at Unity Point Health that are working in the emergency room July 3rd and 4th, and that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, and that's our big thing is fireworks are legal. Mm-hmm. I just want you to use a little bit of common sense, be a little bit safe, and follow the rules, and really that's the big thing. As far as the call volume, the police will see an increased call volume. We'll probably see an increased call volume. And our guys work 24-hour shifts, and it's not it's not uncommon to go on a 911 call, take them to Trinity Muscatine, and then later on have to transfer them up to the University of Iowa. Oh. So yeah, that's adding to our workload as well.
How many years for you now with the fire department?
Me? Yeah. A little over 25.
Wow.
So
I feel like I'm the product. My dad's a retired Chicago cop, and he would have liked nothing more than for me to follow in the footsteps. And even when I was on the radio in Davenport, he would say, well, your afternoons are free. You could like be a firefighter. And I said, I don't know if you understand. I don't have that switch that you can flip, because when I see something bad happening, I'm inclined to call. Now, granted, I have helped people in peril, but like if I see a building burning, I don't have the instinct to go, okay, I got to spring into action. What was it for you, Mike, those years ago that made you decide this is what I want to do? Because it is certainly a unique job.
Well, it does sound kind of funny, but I've always been somebody that really believes in the community and helping others. Growing up as a youth, I was really involved in Scouts. So I'm an Eagle Scout, and it's kind of imprinted on my DNA, if you will, being able to go out and help people. And quite honestly, there were a couple other aspects. One was just the economics of it and the stability. Going into the public sector, you don't get paid as much, but the job security is there and good retirement, those kind of things. So that was a draw for me. And then, quite honestly, the idea that in addition to all that, I could do some really cool things.
Yeah.
So if you think about it over the years, if you're somebody that has ADHD or somebody that likes to do a lot of active things, the job, especially as a firefighter, the job is a lot of hands-on, not as much paperwork, a little paperwork here and there, but being able to go out and do kind of exciting, fun things, I guess, is what drew me to the profession.
And there's got to be just a lot of continuous education, and I wonder how much technology has changed. I mean, I see a fire truck and I don't know the first thing about it, but I can appreciate that it looks a lot different than it did in the early 2000s, certainly in the 80s, 70s. So that's got to help, because again, ultimately you want to be able to be well equipped when you arrive on the scene, and most times you have some idea what's happening when somebody makes that 911 call to Muscom, and then they relay the info, but you don't really know till you get there.
Right.
But do you feel like that technology plus that continuous education, because that's the thing I think people don't realize, kind of like the behind the scenes stuff with respects to how much work is going on. Yes, you're there when 911 gets that call, but there's so much other work going on.
There is so much other work to it. Absolutely.
Sure.
Just, in my career, it hasn't been that long, I don't think. But in my career, there are so many things that have changed. We do so many things now that we never did before. When I started, it was fighting fires, and you have to know how to fight fires, and you have to have the guts. That was a word we used quite a bit back then. The guts and the gusto to get in and fight the fire. And it kind of spread into the EMS world a little bit, became paramedic right away. And at that time, we didn't have the ambulance. Well, in 2000, we started transporting with the ambulance, so that added a huge dynamic to us. 90% of our calls are medical related. And then you start throwing in other things like hazardous materials. We started hazardous materials response in, I believe it was 1997. Is when we had our hazmat team and kind of expand into different rescues and high angle and water rescues, something we do now, we didn't do before. Add in inspections and all those other things, and it's huge. Education is huge, and the ongoing education, and like you said, the vehicles are massively different than what they were before. Think about your car. A car that you bought and when I started, I was put on a fire engine that was a 1989 model. So think about a 1989 model of your vehicle versus one today. And they're bigger, they can do a lot more things. They're wonderful pieces of equipment, very expensive. But yeah, things are a lot more complex now than they were even a few years ago.
Well, and I didn't know, you talk about the hazardous materials. We had a couple months ago, pre-pandemic, somebody had a little bit of a gas spill at the gas station, and we had to call, and this vehicle showed up that I didn't even know we had. And all of a sudden, we were, shoveling some material on the gas to get it to soak up, and it was wild to see. And yeah, the job has evolved a lot, hasn't it? It is probably not the same job that you started. but the intent and the reasons that you were there. Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine.
My phone over. The reasons that you got into it are still the same reasons while you're there, right? I mean, that's what I think is so fascinating is the tech can change, the responsibilities, but everybody's there for the right reasons. And my hope is that as we head into this weekend, that people just keep that in mind, because yes, you're having fun and you're enjoying the holiday, and things were canceled, so you're going to put on the big show, but Mike and his coworkers are just trying to work and go home to their families and enjoy the time. And if they're, like I said, if they're working the holiday, they don't want to show up to your house unless they're off the job and they're invited.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You don't want you don't want the big truck to show up, or you don't want the police SUV to be there. But they're ready to act, and that's where I think sometimes that can get lost. Certainly, nobody is out to get. You know what I mean? Nobody is. Yeah. You're not cruising around waiting for something to happen. But when people feel like they need to call, they're gonna make that call.
And we're a profession that a lot of times people say, "Don't take this the wrong way," and I don't. Right. But I don't want to see you. That's right. Don't take this the wrong way, but I don't want to see you either.
I think that's great.
Yeah, I think one thing it's kind of a valid point to kind of toss out there is so many times people say, well, we appreciate what you do and provide a lot of support, those kind of things, and they do it for the law enforcement as well. Part of showing us that you support us is to follow the rules and be safe. Quite honestly, somebody saying, hey, I really like you, it makes me feel good, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't need that to be able to go to work every day. Instead of saying that, please show it by, again, using a little bit of common sense, being safe and following the rules.
That's an excellent point. I'm glad that you said that. And I hadn't really thought of it that way because I don't do what you do for a living.
Right.
But it makes sense. I mean, with these cell phones, I was backing out of my driveway a couple weeks ago, and I thought I was turning down the volume on my phone. My phone was in my pocket, and apparently I long pressed a button, and next thing I know, 911's on the phone. I pocket dialed 911, and I felt terrible. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, the times that I've called 911 when something bad was happening, I don't, first of all, the people at Muscom, holy moly.
They're amazing.
That's a tough gig.
They really are.
You're literally, so think about this. Say you heard a firework last night, you called in, maybe you didn't call 911, you called the non-emergency number, but you're still talking to the same people, right? This week will be, the last couple weeks, certainly with the threats we had a couple weeks ago, been very busy. So keep them in mind as well.
Well, and one thing that's kind of neat here, just a couple of days ago, the governor recognized telecommunicators as first responders, and they really have been for years and years and years. So they have formally been, identified as first responders. And quite honestly, I couldn't do their job. I am somebody that I like to do things. So if I hear there's a problem, I want to get in, I want to fix it. The telecommunicators, they gather all the information and they send it out so that people can take care of it. But so many times we forget about them, and we forget about, they were really involved in this call. An example would be like a cardiac arrest. Well, we get dispatched and we go there and we do CPR and we do everything we can. Well, that person on the other end of the 911 call listen to that loved one say, my wife, my daughter, my son, my husband is on the floor and he's not breathing, and just all the emotional toll that they suck up, we really don't recognize as much as we should.
I'm not a scanner listener, right? But a couple weeks ago, I was paying attention. When things may or may not were going to happen, and I'm glad they didn't. Holy moly, the amount of communication that's going out.
Yes.
And I have a friend that's a dispatcher in Rock Island, and she's done it for years. And you're right. I mean, it is a tough gig. And then at the same time, for everybody that's in the fire department, police department, it's the same thing. I mean, everybody just wants to do their job and to not have to be there should something. I mean, you're going to be there if something goes bad. But the goal is to be responsible, be safe, enjoy the holiday, and that's it.
Exactly. Exactly. And something else with the career and coming into the career, one thing I didn't realize as much at the time, but I really do now, is we're a big family.
Sure.
The police, we give the police a lot of static. They give us, they like to make all kinds of jokes about us because they're just sitting around eating donuts. No.
Jeez Louise.
But we're like
awesome.
a big family, and it's like almost like brothers, where you might say things to your brother and joke around with them, all that kind of stuff. But when it comes down to it, you really love your brother and you do anything for him. So we have that with the police department. We have that with the sheriff's office. The other fire department agencies around dispatch and all that. And another aspect of that is fire service wise, anybody in the whole world I run into who's a firefighter, instantly we have a connection and we're part of this family, and it's magical, and I'm sure your father felt that with law enforcement there.
Yeah,
and you just can't put a value on it.
Well, and it's just that shared experience that, when you in those situations, because again, maybe 7 out of 10 times it's 24-hour shift, and it's it's not as busy, but then when it gets busy, you have to be there, and that's where all that training comes into play, and doing the right thing so that everybody can make it out okay, kind of reflect on what happened, and then prepare for the next time. So, and I mean, in the 8 years that I've been here, there have been large structure fires, and there have been things that have happened that I just go, wow, I'm glad that Muscatine is well equipped. I'm also glad that we've got these folks in Fruitland and in Louisa County that are volunteering their time, that can respond as well. So should something happen, it seems like we've really got a good group of people.
Right, we do, and Muscatine is really kind of interesting in a lot of different ways. One of them is it seems like we get some of those challenging situations, challenging calls. Like you said, the big fires, we get industrial fires. Communities our size throughout the nation really don't. And from law enforcement, it just seems like a lot of interesting things happen in Muscatine. So that kind of ramps us up our need for that training and retraining and working together.
Has the flyer, so when people buy fireworks, they get one of these, and it kind of tells you the do's and don'ts. Has this changed a lot? I mean, certainly the dates for, discharging the fireworks. And again, if you're watching, we're talking about this Friday, July 3rd, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Saturday the 4th, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. for when it is okay to light off those fireworks. Has this changed a lot? I mean, again, some of this is common sense, but some of it is like you really need to,
That's a good question. If you had one from 2017, the only difference is the dates and times.
Oh, wow.
So
that's great.
Fireworks safety is fireworks safety. It's always been that way. Don't let little kids shoot things off. Be really careful about letting anybody who's not 18 shoot things off. All those safety rules are the same. The fireworks haven't changed since 2017. The rules haven't changed. The safety hasn't changed. If you have a dud, don't try to do anything with it. Get rid of it. Because you don't want it to blow up in your face and cause damage or blind you. We've had that happen as well.
It seems like, and we have, of course, we've got fireworks on the set. It does seem like some of the fireworks have gotten bigger. And I think people, and I realized this last year, residential neighborhood, probably don't need to shoot off any mortars, right? I let one rip, and then I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So, and that's all right. I mean, I know you went out and you bought something, and maybe you realize this isn't the best. That's okay.
Right.
That's okay to do. And if you have a space where you can be out in the open air more, so you don't have maybe houses right on top of you, just keep that in mind. And a lot of it is common sense, and we just, again, the goal is to keep everybody
common sense
safe.
And common courtesy.
Is
the other part of it I look at. If I live in a part of town where there are a lot of houses around me, maybe mortars aren't the best thing for me to do. Or maybe I need to go to my parents' house or somebody else's house, someplace else where there's more space. So I think common courtesy is a real big factor in this as well.
Is there anything else we need to mention before I have you take a dabble at the Toyota Muscatine What's in the Box?
I don't think so. It's just, again, that whole thing. Show us that you support the police department. Show us that you support the fire department by following rules, using a little bit of common sense. and being safe. I don't like to see anybody who's lost fingers or lost vision or anything like that.
I agree.
So just kind of a personal favor to me and everybody I work with, just be safe.
Yeah, and right, because nobody wants to wake up on July 5th in the hospital.
Right.
You know, nobody wants to wake up on July 5th and have to look at their neighbor's garage that's a little smoldering. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. Listen, you don't want it to happen, and it's not your intent. Certainly, I don't think anybody has a lot of malice when it comes to fireworks.
No.
But you just have to understand what you're getting yourself into. All right, this is totally for fun. All right. I'm gonna put that there. So, Mike, here's the task, should you choose to accept it. You're going to go both hands in the box.
Okay.
As you put your hands in, close your eyes, push the doors open, and then try and guess what's in the box, the Toyota Muscatine, what's in the box. Guys, it's nothing alive, right? Okay.
Okay, I was just going to ask if it's going to bite me.
It's not. So far, the only thing they got me with on National Chocolate Pudding Day was I put my hand in pudding. So is it anything that Mike's going to put his... No? Okay.
That wouldn't be bad, because then I could lick off my fingers
and get some free pudding.
Call it breakfast.
All right, go ahead. Assistant Chief Mike Hartman, what's in the box? Doors open. So keep your eyes closed, and we'll see if we... Oh, wow. Look at that.
It's a wonderful sound.
Yeah.
This actually feels like a hamburger dog toy.
Wow.
Maybe I just have food on my mind.
You nailed it.
There we go.
That might have been the fastest one that we've had on the show. And there's been a lot of people that have dabbled at this. You nailed it.
Well, I've squeezed a hamburger dog toy more than once.
Why is it like, I feel like every dog I've had, Mike, they get the squeeze toy, then the next thing you know, they're handing you the squeaker, and then the hamburger in this case would be discarded.
Yes.
They're just like, they want to get that squeaker thing. And then as soon as it's out of it, the $10 or $5 or $20 that you spent.
I think it's bred into them. You know, dogs bark and dogs tear things up.
It's $1 million idea not to just sell the squeakers then. Why don't we just
there
do
you
that?
go.
Right? We could buy a fire truck with that proposal. We could imagine the squeakers we could sell.
The Tony Tone dog toy.
That's, you know, I'm happy to put my name. Listen, there was a burger in the meat department here for a long time, so why not a dog toy if it can help a good cause? Thank you for being here.
Your tagline can be, hey, chew on a Tony.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That might not. Well, I mean, again, if it could be raise money for the Humane Society, I'm in, right?
There you go.
For a good cause, or I'm greedy and kids' college fund, right? I mean,
exactly.
That's not getting cheaper. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Stay safe, and I will do what you said and respect my friends in the fire department, police department, dispatchers by being responsible.
I appreciate it.
That is a great takeaway for everybody that's watching
to
do the same. Yes, you can appreciate what these folks do, but how else can you do it? Be smart the next couple of days. And don't forget, I mean, again, we're just talking about July 3rd and 4th for lighting things off, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yep.
So if you're hearing things, like I heard a couple last night, and I thought, oh, there's Quinn Reese again, just lighting them off. It was not Quinn, I'm kidding. But you know what I mean? Like, you hear it, and if it becomes a thing, we want you to call. We're not saying don't call.
Right.
But for everybody else out there, it's clear as day. You got 2 days where it is okay in Muscatine to do this. And the thing that we don't want to have happen is we don't want to have people ruin it for everybody else.
Exactly.
Because that'll be a whole thing if that goes that route. All right, let's go to the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam, and we will get Assistant Chief Mike Hartman on his way. And look, more food. Holy moly, those sandwiches look good. Breakfast sandwiches, the special for today, $5, ready to go in the Market Grill Express. Definitely have a good crowd in here this morning, so that feels good. I was excited because we're sitting here and a couple pulled up in a Tesla. You don't see that often out there. That's pretty cool. And there's breakfast, right? We also got some lemonade in that shot. Doesn't that look good? Some peaches in there, and then a couple condiments should you need them. All right, so July 1st. Wow. I can't believe it's July 1st. June just went by so fast, didn't it? Today is National U.S. Postage Stamp Day. So we have some stamps, and we can get these at customer service, right? So, you know, maybe you haven't bought a stamp in a while. That's okay. We sell quite a few of them. Right at customer service here at the store. You can ask for them at the register. They'll get you taken care of. Also have some envelopes here. I think as I've gotten older, I look forward to getting actual mail because of the amount of email and text that we get now. When you get actual mail at the house, you're like, oh, wow, somebody sent me something. And then you realize it's just like a bill or something political, and you're like, oh, man. We have this thing. I don't know if you've moved recently, and I think I've talked about this, but if you move, you can sign up, you forward your mail to your new address, but then the post office scans. So every day, I don't know how long it lasts, but every morning I get an email that shows me what I'm getting in the actual mail. It's kind of wild. And look at Jose getting some stamps for us. The customer service, perfect. There is Jose. I love that guy. He's great. So there you go. National U.S. Postage Stamp Day. Today is also Creative Ice Cream Day, which can be every day if you try hard enough and you have a good attitude. You could have creative ice cream all the time. I don't know how creative, I've always kind of been like a chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. Stamps for us. The customer service, perfect. There is Jose. I love that guy. He's great. So there you go. National U.S. Postage Stamp Day. Today is also Creative Ice Cream Day, which can be every day if you try hard enough and you have a good attitude. You could have creative ice cream all the time. I don't know how creative, I've always kind of been like a chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. Customer service, perfect. There is Jose. I love that guy. He's great. So there you go. National U.S. Postage Stamp Day. Today is also Creative Ice Cream Day, which can be every day if you try hard enough and you have a good attitude. You could have creative ice cream all the time. I don't know how creative, I've always kind of been like a chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream with peanutty fudge-covered pretzels with fudge and peanut butter swirls. Don't look at the nutrition label on that one. Holy smokes. Oh my gosh, there's just a little bit of sugar in there, just a smidge. Where did that name come from? The Chubby Hubby. Oh, that's good. And then we've got some Hy-Vee rainbow fat-free sherbet. Somebody in my family growing up liked sherbet. Not a big fan. Not a big fan of the sherbet. It's okay, but you're over at like your aunt's house, your uncle's house, and they're like, oh, what do you got for dessert? And they're like, sherbet. And you're like, oh, do you have any Chubby Hubby? Maybe they didn't have Chubby. We definitely didn't have Chubby Hubby back in the day. And we also did not have ice cream with chips in it. Ice cream with chips in it. That is crazy. I don't know how I feel about this. I kind of want to try it, but I don't. But there's like potato chips in the ice cream. So there you go. Listen, that's why we live in this country, right? Because if you want to have potato chips in your ice cream. I'm also the same guy that growing up, would put the Doritos on the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So what do I know? Who am I to judge? All right, some fireworks we're going to mention that are outside. Well, they're here, but you can buy them at the MCSA fireworks tent. Let me get to my notes here. So we have the Extreme Caution right over here. This is $65.99, and please use extreme caution with all these fireworks. We also have the 44 Magnum down here on the table. The 44 Magnum is $54.99 right here. What is this? Is there like a stuffed animal down there? What is that? The kid's backpack? Is that a safety harness? Oh, my daughter would hate this. Should I buy this for her? Oh, man. The old backpack you put on the kids and then they're following you around? I don't know about that. She would be so mad. That girl's all over the place. She's not even 2 yet. So that's cool. We also have the Firefly Fountain right here. Firefly Fountain. You try and say it. Firefly Fountain is $19.99. It's silent, so that's kind of cool. And it says that it's intended for small kids, not to light, but it won't scare kids, I think is the purpose behind that note. That makes sense. That's $19.99. And again, when you purchase fireworks from the MCSA fireworks tent, remember, it's all volunteers out there, and a portion of each sale goes to MCSA. We have the Super Rocket Assortment. I don't know how I feel about these. You got to be careful. All right. I told you a couple years ago, I lit something like this in my backyard, and it went straight towards my neighbor's house. And I was like, we're done with those. Give me the smaller bottle rockets, because it was like, shh. And then I was like, oh, gosh. And it did that move where it like, you're like, oh, no, coming in hot. Sorry. And it was a neighbor behind us in the alley that we didn't really get along with, and it just went like, and I was like, oh, no. And he's usually out there, and he may have had a shed of bunnies. I don't know. It was a whole thing. I don't want to say too much, but we don't live there anymore, so that's good. We've also got the number 100 tube. These are buy one, get three free. So $15.95, buy one, get three free. I'm like Carrot Top. I love the props. Look at this. Buy one, get three free. So that's only at the MCSA Fireworks tent where you can buy one and you get three free. Stephanie, oh, look at this. I'm missing some Facebook comments. Hold on. Stand by. Let me read your comments since you're taking the time to write them. Ren. Hey, Ren. Ren. You got married, Ren. Congratulations. Tony, they should put your face on a stamp. Oh, Ren, let me lose more weight again, okay? This face is not ready. I got to get it. Listen, Ren, I appreciate that. You're marvelous. We also don't live too far from each other. I don't know if you knew that, Ren. I got to get, I work here, and every day this week I got to buy new blades for my razor, and then I don't, and then I wake up to this face. So you're very kind. Betsy says cotton candy ice cream is the best. Okay. I don't know if I've had cotton candy ice cream. Betsy, who used to help with this show, but we'll find out. Betsy's also expecting her first child, and we're excited for Betsy and Shane. So that's marvelous. Cotton candy, now is that a pregnancy craving, Betsy? Or is that just it? You're just saying cotton candy ice cream. That's it. Because I feel like that's a pretty bold statement. And then Stephanie says, I love sherbet. Well, Stephanie, listen, we love you. But I just, I'm not a big sherbet fan. But listen, you're entitled to your sherbet. You have your sherbet. Have some for me, right? Have some sherbet for me. It's just not my thing. Maybe I need to come around on sherbet. I don't know. Maybe I'll get back on Team Sherbet. Maybe this is the week to do it with the holiday. I don't know. And hello to Miranda and Austin and Jen and who else is watching? Our buddy Adam is out there. Austin, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching on Facebook, of course, you can do that. We also have some fun stuff. I like to call these tchotchkes. This is definitely things that the kids can enjoy. How about some Spirit of America light up glasses, right? Do you love your country enough to... These are probably $1 too or something cheap like that, aren't they? These are fun, right? And then you've got some very safe America glow-in-the-dark flag. Look at that, right? Those are cool. Can't go wrong with a glow stick. Some red, white, and blue straws. Are they paper straws? I don't know about plastic. I'm just kidding. Plastic straws, red, white, and blue. And then what do we have? Some more glow stuff, right? 4th of July is here. This is a glow flag mask. What is that? Like a face mask? Could I wear this at work? Would that help? It doesn't cover the nose. Chris finds all the cool stuff, man. Look at that glow up lollipop. What? All right. And a glow flag badge. Why is it for ages 8 and up? It just glows, right? What? I mean, maybe they just have to do that. And then you've got some glow bracelets. So that's cool. And the instructions on the back, the first step is remove the product from the package and then give it the old crack and the shake. So I like that they kind of have to walk you through how to do that. That's awesome. And then, Chris, I don't want to neglect these things. These are like garden stepping stones. Okay, that works. So if you've got the garden, it is. It says it on the back. I should just read the back or listen to Chris. Surface stepping stones for the garden. So there you go. I don't like this one. I feel like that guy's staring right in your soul. Chris, zoom in on that face. Let's creep people out. Look at this guy. No, not me. There you go. Oh, my gosh. Oh, nightmare fuel. Hey, how's it going? I can't handle it. I'm not doing it. I'm out. We've got this one. Life is good. Right? Little ladybug. Little ladybug action right there. And then we have don't. What is this? What is this? This one has a. Why do these have faces? Don't just stand there. Weed. Pull some weeds, right? I told you my first job when I was 13, I sold Christmas trees, and then I was a landscaper. I have pulled a lot of weeds in my day. Doesn't mean that I enjoy it, but I've done it. And then we've got one for police and military, right? Look at that. Here you go. These are a little bit heavier than they look. And you can also hang them on the wall. There's a spot on the back where you can do that. You can mount them. So that's cool. These are in the floral shop. Chris, floral? They're down by the freezers. By the ice cream. Interesting. I guess I should walk around the store more. Is that what you're telling me, Chris? I don't get around enough? That's cool. Betsy says that she is finding out the gender of their baby today. That's exciting. Well, good for you guys. I'll make a guess. I bet it's going to be a baby. I'm going to say it's a boy. You're having a boy. That's my guess, Betsy. And Betsy, I'll make you this bet. Come to me, Brad. Betsy. All right. So Shane works here. You don't have to zoom in. Betsy, if it's a girl, I will happily buy you cotton candy. But if it's a boy, you don't have to buy me anything. I'll just take pride in guessing correctly. But if it's a girl, cotton candy ice cream for you. Deal? All right. I don't think she would disagree to that. So maybe send me a text. You don't have to tell everybody. And then we're happy for you either way. And we miss having you on the show. All right. A couple things I'm going to mention, and we're going to get out of here. I'm just looking at my list. Okay. So I want to show the newspaper ad for the 4th of July that is on the back page of the Discover Muscatine newspaper. So 4th of July, it's here. You know, it's July 1st today, right? We're open 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Here's what we've got. One-stop shop for everything for the 4th. And whether it's like trays from the deli or the bakery or the floral shop with some arrangements, the flag cheesecakes, of course, ribs. Listen, this store and Hy-Vee Main Street are here for you. And then if we scroll down, guys, we do have some deals that start today with Budweiser and Bud Light. Just keep it right there. That's perfect. Coke, Busch Lights in there, Pepsi products, Frito-Lay, Hy-Vee chips, bacon wrapped sirloin filet, special recipe brats are 10 for $10, and then a little bit of a teaser at the bottom. So that is great. You can order groceries online right now and pick them up later today. I did this yesterday. We did this at my house. I left work, and then I got into the online pickup, and I waited 1 minute. By the way, 1 minute from when I parked to when they were loading my vehicle, so that was awesome. Same-day pickup available. Perfect. Right there on the screen. Download the Aisles Online app or go to Hy-Vee.com/grocery and shop from home. Maybe you don't want to get out in the rain. It's still raining right now, by the way, I can see. Looks like it's going to dissipate or slow down, but it is still coming down just a little bit out there as we're doing the show live at 9:22. How about the fuel saver for June? Now, I'm going to update this for the entire month, but I can tell you that from June 1st to June 28th, you can see it on the screen, customers at this store saved $18,000 in gas. So unless you've got that Tesla that's out there right now, which wouldn't need gas, or a bicycle or a skateboard or a hoverboard. If you have a hoverboard, by the way, let me know. I mean, I have a this is nerdy. I have a hoverboard prop from Back to the Future that's signed by Christopher Lloyd. I don't know if that's something that you admit openly on your talk show, but I have it. But either way, you're putting gas in your vehicle, probably, right? So if you can save what you pay at the pump, do it. Fuel Saver is awesome. It's free, and we want you to take advantage of it. Let's talk about Wellness Wednesday. Since that's still going on today, we'll just remind you again, 10% off everything in the health market, like those ginger snaps. These are gluten-free, so these would be 10% off. Organic produce and health and beauty care products. So if anything, I'll save 10% on those razors so I can shave my face, even though I'm off tomorrow. I'll do that today, and I'll save some money. We have I think I emailed the new Fuel Saver flyer that starts today. Another opportunity for you to save money. The flyer is in the store. You purchase everything on the flyer. Again, you're going to save a whole bunch at the pump, which is awesome. And maybe you're not traveling that much this weekend. Listen, I get it. But again, don't pay full price on gas if you don't have to. So if we just went across the top row, if you bought everything right there, 16 cents coming down 10 cents, 20. You've got 10 there, 10 there, 10 cents there, 5 cents there, 10, 5, and 25. Buy all of those items, and you're saving a whole bunch on gas, which is exciting. Any of the garden center live plants that are now located kind of near the front of the store are 50% off. So please help us clean up on those. That's just something I want to tell y'all. I don't have anything to show you per se. I just want you to come and buy those hanging baskets. They've gotten watered today from Mother Nature. So they're 50% off, and please check that out. Of course, the MCSA fireworks tent in our parking lot. Listen, there's a lot of these fireworks tents in town that are people from out of town. They're not local. There are fireworks tents that are not staffed by volunteers that are supporting MCSA. This is the 4th year they've had a fireworks tent in 4 years. Close to $50,000 has been donated to MCSA. So if you are going to buy fireworks, be safe, be responsible, and go to the tent in our parking lot. And I want to point out, Hy-Vee doesn't make a dime from the sales. We get a little bit of dough from Bellino, the fireworks company, for literally the parking lot, but that's it. So MCSA has staffed it. They have volunteers, and then every purchase, whether it's one of these guys or one of these big ones, every purchase, a portion of the sales go back to MCSA, which is awesome, right? So like I said, if you're going to do it, you might as well support them. I don't know why I folded up my sheet with all my notes on it. I have all these other sheets I could fold, but I folded up my good sheet, everybody. The DSW sandals and shoes, we still have a decent amount. I checked it out yesterday, got a little updated video we'll show you. 60% off. I know what you're thinking, sandals and shoes at Hy-Vee. Well, we've got them. Name brand stuff near the dairy, and it's 60% off. Please check it out and take care. Treat yourself, right? Treat your feet. You earned it. We have a July food court specials. We'll mention that, and then we'll probably get out of here. So lunch, dinner specials, breakfast specials as well. All the breakfast specials that we show you on this show are $5. So this is updated for July. So it's Wednesday, right? So half off sushi would be today, $5 meatloaf, $2.99 pulled pork, $2.49 for a calzone. And then the breakfast special is down there as well. So that's for the month of July. Check that out. We'll get that online for you. Okay, so listen, we are not doing the show tomorrow because I'm off working on Saturday, the 4th of July. We will be here Friday, all right? And we look forward to seeing you. I want to thank our guests today. We talked to Assistant Chief Mike Hartman with the Muscatine Fire Department. Be responsible this weekend. You can only legally light off fireworks July 3rd from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and the 4th, right? So, you know, I get it. You're excited. A lot of fireworks. 4th of July festivities have been canceled. It seems like Fruitland is the only place that's doing a parade and fireworks, which is awesome. And then just be safe, right? Like if you're going to buy whatever you're going to get, we just want you to be responsible with it. I mean, I'm glad that we have one of the examples of like the variety things. Like there's nothing really in that platinum assortment that's too bad or too big. It'd be safe for you. I've had that one before, as a matter of fact. And then if fireworks aren't your thing, I totally get it, and I respect that as well, and we want people to keep that in mind and be safe. And we say hi to our friend Rita, who just joined in on the stream. So hi, Rita. How you doing? All right, so we'll see you on Friday. In the meanwhile, thanks for watching. Thanks to CBI Bank and Trust. Toyota Muscatine, what's in the box today? A squeaky hamburger chew toy for a dog, which is awesome. We have the dog toys here. And thanks to our friends at Lutheran Living Senior Campus. Is there a purple toilet in front of my house? There is. I will set. Now listen. For $30, I can send it wherever, but I'm going to go $60 because it supports Alzheimer's. And I got to figure out who we're going to send the toilet to, right? Who should we send the toilet to? I don't know. I feel like Hy-Vee store director Matt Schweitzer would be a good one to send it to, but we'll see. So that's with Sunnybrook, and that supports a good cause. Do we have that picture? I'm going to airdrop it again really quick. Do we have the toilet pic? Let me do this. Just look at this kid. This kid is wild. All right, I'm going to send this my 5-year-old son hanging outside the house with the purple toilet, just so for people that are tuning in late, there you go. So there's Ted, who has lived in pajamas since school was ended early, and there is the purple toilet. We've been flushed with Sunnybrook and supporting Alzheimer's. So again, that could be coming to your house. You never know. Maybe we'll send it to Rita's house. our friend Rita Mathiot could get the purple toilet out in front of her house. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on Friday live at 8:30 or weeknights on MPW Cable Channel 5. Last but not least, just real quick, shameless plug for Muscatine High School graduation, scheduled to happen tomorrow, July 2nd, at the high school. They're live streaming it on cable. You can watch it on social media as well. Please check that out, and congrats to the class of 2020. That's it for us. We're good for today. Do you need ice cream with potato chips in it? Today is Creative Ice Cream Day, and you can find it here at the store. All right, take care. Bye.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet. We're hunting rabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.